Hi YouTubers, I thought I'd make a video of maybe a little bit of an introduction to myself. My name's Berenice. They call me Belle or Bernie. Usually Belle, well, depends. I'm 67 years old and I still can't decide what name that people call me. I just leave it to them. I answer to both. So I thought I'd just talk a bit, and I was doing these little blocks, and I've done a few. It was a jelly roll I had left over from another quilt, and I've got some strips here as well. And I'll just plod along and make some of these and make them into some kind of quilt. I don't know whether to put borders, little borders, big borders, or put them in another set of triangles. I don't know yet. I'll just plod on and make a load of these. They'll always be used for something. So they're 2.5 because it's a jelly roll, so I cut them into squares, and I'm creasing them 4 ways just to make a little mark on the square. And the reason for the marks is another 2.5 inch square I'm going to cut in half, straight down from point to point. And then we're going to put the triangles on each side. First two are going to be opposite. So I'll just paste this on here. You'll probably see it on my work, on my light's not very good. But just across here I'm going to sew. But the point is going to touch the crease down here. And that's all I'm doing. And I thought I'll just waffle, chat a little while, let you know a bit about me, if you're interested. Because I want to do this for a while. I'd like to get some friends here, some viewers that are interested, and hopefully get some tips from me as well. I'm sure I must know some things in life at my age. So I'm sort of do sew along there, fold it back. Don't need to fold it back, but I just fear that I'm going to go over the tip, sew over the tip. Look how far I am away from it. But psychologically, I think I'm gonna hit that. So I just fold it out of the way. Put this one on the top again, same opposite side. Across there. And if the tip's in the middle, some people crease the triangle as well. I've done it in bigger ones when I first done it as well. I'll stick it in there. Hold on a minute, because it cuts. Sometimes my thread gets caught down in the little hole. I keep meaning to pull my work away and it'll take the thread with it. I've got my 1/4 inch foot on to make sure I'm 1/4 inch. I could put an ordinary one on, but I haven't got any marks or anything on my machine. So that's the two. Just going to give them a wee press with the iron. I'm just doing the two top and bottom triangles, like so. Now, I've ironed up there and ironed up there. I've avoided that crease, so it's still there for me. If you do iron it out, just put the two seams together and then crease it again. So that's it. And some people as well, or you can, put your rule across there and take them 2 little bits off. And it'd be handy with a walking foot, because when I go down I get caught with that. But that's time. That's stuff I don't want to do. I'll lay that on there. Again, the point down onto the crease that I made. I've done it again, didn't pull the thread out. Just a bit awkward because I've got a 1/4 inch foot on. So I go down there and a little bit of the 1/4 inch foot sticks right down, so I'll just lift it up. I haven't got a knee foot lifter like on this. It's only a little machine. I haven't got one of my big one either. But it's no hardship. I'm not rushing. I'll put this one on here. Just make sure that that point is on the crease. Of course. Hold on, that's it. Go right at the top as well. Get it under the foot. See again, I've got the sticky out bit. And that's it. I'll give them a wee press. Doesn't matter if I take the creases out now, that's completed. That's it done. And I'll trim that up. I'll show you how I trim that up. 1/4 inch away. So take it, and it'll be nice and straight. Which I've done here. See? So yeah, thinking what I'm gonna do. I've had a look around videos and that to see to put a wee black strip around there. I tend to do that. I've got a quilt somewhere. Just give us a sec. I'm back. See, I've got this quilt here. Come bit in. And I've put wee black borders on it. And then the big one on the outside, obviously. Hold on, where's the camera? Use variegated thread on that all over. I just went all over. I didn't do the borders different. And it's all I did. I've done little circles, you know, a wander and then little circle, wander, little circle, all different sizes. And I did do the border different. I can see now. I only done this about 3 weeks ago, you know. I think I remember. Lots happened since then. YouTube. Yeah, so I've just done a meander at the top. Some of it looks missing, but it's just darker colour on the black. Which somebody said to me, that's quite effective. You think, how do you get there? You know, unless you're looking closer. Good, make them wonder. So, and then just a plain, I'm saying plain, a one pattern of fabric, that's it. I'm hesitating because I'm thinking ahead. Takes a lot for me, well, I'm saying that. Takes a lot from me. Keep using my age. I love using my age. Great excuse. Get away with murder because of my age. I can't remember things. I've always been like that, but when you're 20, you couldn't do it. But there's another one that I've done. So I'm having a great time with this YouTube stuff. I've always had technology. I've always had a computer for 30 odd years. I used to live in Scotland. I was one of the first to have the internet. A tiny wee village I lived in, mining village. And I remember the dial-up and then the broadband. You know, one of the first, me and an old boy who had a competition who was going to get the broadband into the. I think he beat me by an hour. So yeah, and I designed and ran the village website. So we've been around with computers and stuff. Didn't do it for a living, it was just pure fun. Pure fun. I've done a bit of bookkeeping and that's how I've done it. I actually went back to school when I was about 35, I think. I took equivalent of O levels up in Scotland. Maths, English and There you go. Can't remember because I didn't do it at school. At school at 15, nothing. So I done that, and the Windows was 3.1. The school got them right, you know. And you want to touch it, being an adult. Oh, I don't want to touch computers. But once I was touched it, that was me. And then I done bookkeeping and computers as well. But I've done a lot, yeah. Photoshop, Dreamweaver, that's web designing. I don't know it all. Don't get me wrong, but I can get, or I did get by. But I lost my husband about 17 years ago. Oh, it is 17 years ago. And I moved, and I had to change of life, and I had severe back problems. Couldn't walk, absolute horrendous. I still not can't walk very far, more than a few steps. But so of course that affected my mental health. I moved, I moved back down to England. Obviously, I'm English, and my mental health. So I had 15 years, you might as well say, of nothing, just plodding along on my own here. But the past 2 or 3 years, it's starting to get a bit better. So I got into quilting, and I went back to quilting 18 months ago. The group in the village here, and that's just spurred me on, and I've just gone on. And of course I know a bit about technology, and I thought, oh, I'll give YouTube, and I did give YouTube a year ago, but again, no confidence as such, like, so I put a couple of bits up and left it. But now I'm a bit better. Yeah, I'm here. Hopefully you're not going to get rid of me. So of course I've got to learn the editing and stuff. As I say, I have the basics, and it's just refreshing a lot, and learning a lot as well. I know how to upload, download, edit. I've done a bit of editing. I can edit photos, no bother. But the film's obviously a different thing. But the quilting, I started quilting about 25 years ago in Scotland again. And I made my grandson a quilt. I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you the story, right? There's an old girl up the road to me, and she used to do lots of different crafts, and she got these wallpaper shop books, great big sample books. And at the time, in the 90s, I think it must have been years, you used to have little swatches of fabric. And she said about quilting and stuff. I said, I don't know, let's have a go. So we ripped out the fabric, soaked them in buckets, so I did, took the glue off. Some come off easy, some didn't. So I collected all this fabulous, some was thick, some was all the curtain fabric. And I'd scrub it and all that, and then stick it in the washing machine, and yeah. And I used to dabble, and I made 2 or 3 little quilts, and quite a big one actually, a flower basket one. Trust me, go full in. And I made my grandson, he was just born 22 years ago, a wee cock quilt. But again, life moved on, and then hold on, no, I'm not finished there. Think, Bill, think, take your time. I had nothing. The internet was just about coming, to life, but ordering stuff online was, yeah. And I used to, I'm trying to think where I got patterns, but anyway, I used to draw like squares or triangles and draw around with a pencil and use an ordinary pair of scissors and rulers and things like that. Really, really basic stuff. I had a bit of cardboard on my dining table to sort of make a little workbench and that. But as I said, I left it alone then, and then my husband passed away, and I dabbled a little bit. But then I moved to this flat about nearly 15 years ago, and they had got a quilting group here, so I joined, and that was me. I was away. I learned so much, and of course the internet's better. There's so much then, and that inspired me. But my mental health was absolutely on the floor. Couldn't get out of the house for 9 years, So as I said, I dabbled and I've made stuff. I'm catching up with, because you make bits and bobs, don't finish it, do something else. The internet, I could buy stuff, buy me food, buy everything. I bought everything because I couldn't get out. And But as I say, the last 18 months, I bought myself a new machine, going back to the group, and mentally a lot better. Still not good, still not 100%, but a lot better than I was. And I can walk more than 2 steps now. You know, I can walk 10. That's really, but yeah, and pain's a lot. You know, I live with absolute agony, but the pain's eased off a bit. You know, I'm still in pain, but I can manage. I can live with it. So it's all that circle, isn't it? When things start to get a little bit better, you get a little better, and then things get better. Of course, when you're down on the floor, you've got no chance, you know. And I still have days or a few days that I can't do anything, you know, in bed hiding. But I am really, really enjoying this. And I've seen some people like Kate from the last Homely House. I love her. I'll put a link to her. She doesn't know I'm doing it, but she's only been doing it 5 years and got 100,000 subscriptions. You know, I don't want to be world famous, but knowing somebody is watching you is so good for your self-esteem, your ego, etc. And it's worth getting up in the morning, isn't it? You know, so I can talk to you, hopefully. You know, I hope I get some comments in the future. You know, maybe not today. It might be 6 months down the line, but get a little community going. That would be great for me, and hopefully great for you. And then you can hear about my life if you really want to listen to about my life. Oh dear, it's embarrassing at times, but that's what you do if you sat in a cafe or in a, you know, in somebody's front room, you know, get to know them. Or quilting, you learn about people's lives, you know. And that's what I love. The girls I speak to at Guru have completely different lives from me. Completely. They've been abroad. I've never been abroad in my life, you know. And they tell me of their adventures. And somebody said to me once, and it wasn't at the group, but someone said, "Are you not jealous?" And no, no. I said, I love hearing people's experiences. You know, sometimes you do, of course you do. You think, oh, I wish I'd gone to, if I wanted to. One thing I would like to do is a bit like a bucket list, is to see the whales. You know, humpback whales, not the country. I lived in Wales once, so no, I've seen whales, but they were humpback whales like in California or Alaska. I'm not going to Alaska; it's too cold up there. But off California, to see the whales singing in the sea, I would absolutely love that. You know, I'll never do it. I know I can't travel, I can't walk. You know, so and I couldn't be bothered with all the hassle of planning stuff. But yeah, it's a dream. It's a dream that keeps you going on. You know? But anyway, let's go and get another triangle on this, eh? Because this thing will never be finished otherwise. Make sure I've got the right colours now, isn't it? You know, don't put the no, don't put the wrong colours on, Bill. Yeah, it's great. So I didn't lift that one, and yeah, not quite as straight. Not pleased with that one, but that's all right. We all make mistakes. I'm rattling. I always say that. Rattling with my bracelets, my treasures. Said to someone, I'm going to get one of the sports bands to put on there. Oh, really? I said, yeah, it's the nearest I'm going to get to sport. Yeah. Just putting that underneath. And of course, with the YouTube, you know, I had to buy a camera. I was using the iPhone first, but I bought a camera. It's just a cheap run-of-the-mill camera. and getting used to that. It's got a mic on the top, but you know, I'm thinking about it all the time. I have to tell myself, slow down here, you know, mental health, slow down. You don't have to do it in a day. But hopefully, I don't know what sort to buy or anything, you know. I have no. Um, Let me put my iron on. Hold on, I can iron. My iron's not on. Can't be. Yeah, cameras. Yeah, I have no idea what sort of camera to buy, you know. I'm quite pleased with this, but the zooming in's not good, you know. But I've seen some people with their setups with the gizmos over here. I don't know, that's way down the line, way down the line. It took me 9 months, 6 months, 9 months to buy this because I didn't know if I was going to do it. I didn't know if I'd like it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to get anywhere just with the iPhone camera. Just go for it and see how it goes from there. You can always use it for something else as well. So at the moment, I'm pleased with what I've got, you know. I know now not to talk when this is running because I actually, you know, I'm facing away from it. So, yeah, good, isn't it? Of course, I hope it might encourage other people. I mean, I know there's a lot of quilting stuff out there, but then, you know, I'm forever browsing quilting. I'm forever browsing everything on YouTube. It's a wonderful thing. The internet is a wonderful thing. Of course, it can be abused. I mean, I remember Amazon when it was just books, and I did buy, you know, proper books. And then when they started to do other stuff, but then the Kindle, you know. So now I read on a tablet. It's a Fire tablet from Amazon. I've had 4 of them over the years, you know, a few years, and I love reading, and it's so much easier in bed. You can make the print bigger, you can dim the light so it's not glaring in your face. You can't do that with a book. And I wear glasses, so it's quite hard to read a book, especially as I get older, like things like that. I still buy occasional books. I've got a bookcase, but it's a weak bookcase. And there's nothing like a hard copy. There's no, but I've bought hundreds of books, you know, to read on. But so I do really embrace technology. Mobile phones take me a long time to get this triangle on, isn't it? Mobile phones. I've always had a mobile phone, and I remember the first pictures being sent. I mean, it cost 25 pence or something to send one picture, you know. But now you have the contracts and stuff, you know, we didn't have that then. I'm trying to remember. I didn't have the brick one, the brick phone. My brother did. He worked for the railway and he had one that came to visit me out in Scotland, bought this great big phone. But I've always had a mobile, and it was quite bad reception, but I had some. We still had the landline, you know. And then when I moved here, it was bad reception. Again, I had the landline. But they got the better internet speeds, and yeah, then I got into the iPhones then, you know. My son said, do you not know how to do this, that and the other? I said, I don't know unless you're taught, you know, or you see someone doing it. And of course, being isolated as well. But I use my iPhone all the time. I don't, or, you know, mobile phone, but and my landline's not even plugged in, not in the wall, you know. I mean, I made some wonderful friends on the internet when I was first on it. Like I say, dial-up. So of course, after 6 p.m., it was a penny a minute at that time. If you used it during the day, it was quite expensive, you know. But I used to go in Yahoo chat rooms, and I made some great friends. And I actually met some of them from America. A couple came over, not to see me specifically, but they were in the country or they were in Scotland, and they come and saw me and met me in real life, you know. and stuff like that. And again, I helped with family trees. Somebody in England, and they had family from Scotland in my area, so I research a bit, look at the graves and stuff, and do that kind of thing, you know. So contact with people. I have lost them people now. Again, that's because of my mental health and isolation. But that's just the way of life, isn't it? They would have moved on as well. You know, we're talking 20, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, but it is a wonderful thing. Right, that's two on. It's taken me half an hour. Don't take my crease out the other way. There we go. See? Got the other two here. The crease line. It's so roughy as well, because I had one. I don't know why it ended up. This point ended up. Oh yeah. Mathematics, no good at that. So I finished this one, and then I can't see the time, it's too far away, that screen for me on the camera. But I'll finish this, and then we'll call this a day, and I'll go and see what it looks like. See if I've got the wherewithal to put it online, if I'm brave enough. I don't know. Near the end of that little tab that's sticking out just before. And cut. Oh, didn't cut, that was me. I was too quick for the machine, there you go. Too quick for the computer. And there we are, there's another one. So, tell me what you think. Should I put them just together and make a big quilt that way? I've actually got a fleece on my door. So I'm on my own, doesn't matter what I do in my house, does it? And I should lay them on there to get a bit of an idea. I'll put it that way, it might help. They might look good together just like that, or will it look too busy? Do I want to do borders again? Wide borders, small, thin borders. No idea. But I've got a few to do. Thank you for watching. I always say this, hope you're not bored. I always say this to people, hope you're not bored. Of course, if you were bored, you wouldn't be getting this far, would you? I do hope you revisit me and see some of what I do in my life, my time. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button would be wonderful. And the notification bell. And what's the other one? Like. The like.